What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about my camper today. If you are watching this channel, you probably know about another channel called Truck House Life. Very obviously, I was insanely inspired by him. I've gotten to talk to him a little bit. Very cool dude. But I don't really want to spend too much time on an intro, so let's get into the truck. First off, this is on a 2002 F250 Super Duty. I'll talk in another video about like all the modifications that I've done to deal with the weight of the cabin and also a lot of the storage stuff on the inside of the cab. For right now, I just want to focus on the inside of the cabin. So just like Timmy, I did build a set of folding stairs. At the bottom right here, I did put some extra turn signals and brake lights. These beams ended up covering the truck's brake lights, and I'm not too sure how legal that is, but I didn't want to risk it. I did end up wanting to do a little bit more security than I had in the last truck setup, so I do actually have a locking door handle and a deadbolt, and makes me feel way more secure when sleeping in the truck in places that I don't know. On the outside, I do have two porch boxes. I keep my stove, propane, and like pee bottles in here. And this one's more of a, I guess, garage. Like I'll keep some light tools in there. I do have my my frying pan in here. So on the inside, I do have 4 lights overhead with a light switch right here, and I'm able to brighten and dim these on the actual lights. Right here, I have a max air fan, and I have my fridge down here. All of this runs off of my BioLite Base Charge 600. I am going to be switching out to another battery system that's going to be like 4 times bigger than this. Definitely stay tuned for that. I will make a video in the future, hopefully in like a month or two from this video dropping. And all of this right now is being charged by a 100-watt Renogy solar panel out here. Also going to be changing that, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Right down here is kind of a sneak peek of what I'm going to be changing to. Here's my couch. It's a 6-inch memory foam mattress, and really comfy to sit on, but not exactly enough to sleep on. So to fix that, made it to where you can pull it out all the way like this. And I have all my bedding and stuff in a little bin down here. I'll show you guys in a second, but this is almost, I think, a twin. I think it's like right about a twin. And this thing's cozy as shit. All of my bedding and stuff is down here. Kind of a tight squeeze, but right here I have a bin that I keep all of my shoes in. As you can see, it's pretty full. Over on this side, I have a collapsing toilet. This is the Clean Waste Go Anywhere collapsing toilet. I got it at REI for like 80 bucks. Essentially, you take a bag, put it in here, fold the excess around there, put this down, and now you have a toilet. And up here, I have all my water. This is a USB charged water faucet. I did put in sliding windows. That was a very big thing just to have a cross breeze, especially here in the summer in Colorado. It's been hitting upper 90s pretty consistently. That's why this thing has been getting a lot of use. But the really nice thing is these have bug screens that I'm able to open. So if I ever have to like throw water out, or if I just want a bigger breeze to come through, I could open those. And as you can see, I do have a lot of like little artwork, knickknacks and things. Like this is a drawing of a columbine flower that my friend Meg drew. That's the state flower of Colorado. I have this little cup holder thing that now ends up being wall art. That is from my friends up in Canada. This is from my girlfriend going to Iceland. I think this was on a licorice thing. And then just other small stuff that really comes in handy, like little coat hooks here. And all of these things right here. These are insanely useful. And I'm going to go over an entire list of things that I got for the cabin and prices for everything. I'm going to leave links in that video, but not this one. So if you do want to see links to all these kind of things, definitely, again, stay tuned for that video. It's going to be different from the battery video, but I will be going over budget ideas, things that very much help me out, and things that I think could help you out on a budget. I built this because I was running out of storage in the truck. I didn't prioritize storage very much when I was building the cabin. I was more focused on space. So this was kind of an afterthought, and this has been an absolute lifesaver. Over on this side, more storage. I got these drawers from IKEA, and integrated them into the actual countertop. In the back of the countertop itself, I also built storage here. These are both deep enough to fit a 1-pound propane bottle. The countertop is also treated with waterproofing just to make sure that nothing soaks into it and ruins it. Obviously, that's only going to go so far, and there are places that have exposed wood. So if it really gets soaked, that will be a problem, but I just try to make sure that I clean up any messes as I go. Right here is a huge thing that I'm very happy that I found. A paper towel holder that has kind of a tension arm on it to make sure this doesn't just undo itself as I'm driving on the road. Like I was saying earlier, I have lots of these bungee cord storage things. They've kind of been a lifesaver. These were some of the latest things that I've put in. Very, very happy with those. Over here, you'll see I have a table. This was a later addition to the truck. I didn't have this in the original build. So if you look back at any of my old videos, you might notice that I don't have this, and just more artwork and stuff to make it feel a little bit more homey. With the insulation, I really wanted to make sure that I would be warm in the winter and cooler in the summer. So the roof does have R13 face insulation. The walls are 1.5-inch board foam R6, I think, R6 or R8, I forgot which. And the door is also board foam. It's about 1 inch thick, and it's R4, I believe. With just a regular heater, the insulation holds down to a lot of heat. And in the summer, it does tend to be a lot cooler in here, especially if I have the max fan going and either of the windows open. This is something I haven't seen in many other builds, actually any other builds. These are the magnets for a pop socket. I will watch YouTube videos or Hulu or Netflix or whatever. While I'm cooking or while I'm working on something on the countertop here, I can just put my phone up here and watch TV. I also have one right over here. For when I'm going to bed, I can just sit and watch this. And I also have one right up here. So when I'm sitting at my little table, I can, eat a meal and watch TV. Right here is my dresser. So each one of these has clothes in it. For the most part, I try to only keep it to clothes, but every now and then a water bottle will end up there. These are going to be bigger things. So like, coats and snow pants, things like that. All these are just the kind of essentials. So like socks and underwear, shirts, pants and shorts. On top of this, I kind of just had a big space. And to start with, I had nothing to hold that space in. So I made this at work. Now I can keep things like books and a lint roller and whatever else up here without worrying about it flying around or falling down, especially if I'm keeping a laptop or something up here, something that's more brittle. I have blackout curtains. Something that is really fun though is having these little puck lights here in the bottom of this storage bin thing. It definitely just makes it a lot cozier in my opinion, especially when it's dark at night. I can turn off the overhead lights and just have these down here. So I feel like I'm not going too much in depth right now, and I am hopefully going to be getting back into more consistent YouTube uploads. This is hopefully the catalyst of me getting back into it, but you guys are going to be able to see all the small things that I might change about the cabin or that I forgot about in this video. But let's go outside real quick, and I want to show you guys a little bit more about what I've done to the outside and how the cabin is actually being held onto the truck. So on the outside here, on the sides of the porch, I also put a couple of hooks just to be able to do things like hold a backpack. The way that I held the truck down was with these Brophy tie downs. These are very easy and simple to install. They're 3 screws in each one. You put one in each corner. On the outside, I absolutely soaked the wood in waterproofing just to make sure that I wouldn't get any water leak on the inside. So far, it's holding up pretty good. This cabin cost round about $5,000 to build, and that is including things like adding the extra leaf springs, getting the tie downs, any mechanical work that I had to get done to the truck before it was ready for the actual way to the cabin. Something else that I use very often, if not every day, is that little guy right there. That's the backup camera of my full dash cam setup. So I have another dash cam that's actually sitting on the rear view mirror in the cab, and I'm able to see through that camera there. So if I'm backing up, I can see how close I'm getting to whatever. If I'm just driving around, I can see who's right behind me. But it's also, like I said, it's a dash cam, so it records constantly. So if someone were to come up and try to mess with the cabin, I would have that on film, which is super convenient. And I've used it a few times already, just driving by, seeing crazy stuff. Like we saw a mountain lion a couple of weeks ago, and that was really cool to go back and check the footage on. I'll put that in somewhere here, but you guys can see that. That's kind of the broad strokes of the cabin and the entire build. If you guys have any questions or comments about the truck or about the cabin, anything, you know, in the realm of building out your own rig, I'd be more than happy to try to help out, or at least lend some resources that I've kind of picked up throughout the years. I want this to be a community thing, so if you have any tips or tricks, definitely leave them down below. Someone else might see them and benefit from them. That's gonna wrap this up, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.